Tamil language is an official language in Sri Lanka, Singapore. Tamil is minority language in Mauritius and Malaysia. It has been given special recognition in South Africa, Australia, Canada, Reunion Islands, etc. Even Haryana had Tamil as an official language up to 2010. We all know that Tamil is an official language in Tamil Nadu, UTT, Pondicherry, Andaman and Nicobar. Tamil being one of the oldest language, it is highly reputed, popular all over the world. But the irony is that it has failed to establish its fame in its origin land of India. Why and what could be the reason? During pre-post independence, we faced many struggles and fights. One of those was for language. In the year 1939 to 1940, India had witnessed major riots, protests, arrests including women and children, and death of civilians against imposition of Hindi as an official language. The main heroes behind the protest were Periyar and Annadurai. They aimed to have a separate Dravida nation as already Pakistan and Bangladesh succeeded in getting separate nation. So they took language as a gimmick to get separate nation which they dreamt for. However, majority of the nationalist leaders like Kamarajar, Muthuramalinga Thevar, Rajaji were not cooperative. In the year 1961 to 1962, Annadurai demanded in Rajya Sabha for separate Dravida Nadu. So the two major questions which we are going to discuss is why Congress tried to pass an act in constitution making Hindi as Devanagari official language and why Tamil leaders strongly opposed it. In the British period, India has been broadly divided into South-North and further in the year 1856. Mr. Robert Caldwell, known to be the godfather of Tamil language, coined the term Dravidian from the Sanskrit word Dravida. From the year 1838 to 1877, Robert played major role in southern part of India and British education system. Bought in the year 1857, which they introduced Aryan invasion theory, Dravida invasion theory.
However, later it has been proved false by many. Dr. Ambedkar said in his book, Who Were Sudras? The Aryan race theory is so absurd, like the snake, it must be killed. It is therefore necessary to pursue the examination of the theory further with a view to expose its hollowness completely. Howard and several other researchers on ancestral Indian population says that Aryans and Dravidians signifies the ancestry of North and South Indians might after all be a myth. There is no North-South divide, Lalji Singh, former director of CCMB and co-author of the study, said at a press conference. However, Periyar took this as iron in the fire and started spreading hatred in Tamil Nadu. Hence, after independence, various leaders suggested to have a common language other than English to have a good rhythm in the relationship. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar said, since Indians wish to unite and develop a common culture, it is bounden duty of all Indians to own up Hindi as their language. The only way I can think of meeting a danger is to provide in the constitution that the regional language shall not be the official language of the state. He was Marathi. In 1918, Mahatma Gandhi expressed his suggestion to make Hindi as a national language even though he was Gujarati. So, points number 1. Hindi was option, but the aim was to make one language as official language other than English. Point number 2. One language so that we could build interrelationship within the states. 3. To avoid disputes and fights in the name of the languages and state. 4. To avoid language-based politics. Now we try to understand why Tamil leader was against it. Not all, but some leaders like Periyar and Anna were against imposition of Hindi. Their motto is to have separate nation. They will disagree with central no matter what. They present to Tamil people in such way that it is against for them. They feel as if Hindi is derived from the word Hinduism. If they can learn English, why not Hindi? If by learning English we could spread Tamil all over the world, then why not by learning Hindi we could spread Tamil all over India? Tamil is self-sufficient for its glories, but they plotted the word Dravida so that the non-Tamilan can also rule over it.